Hi, so this is quite a hard video to film because it's really complicated and you would be amazed at how much emotion and thought you go through thinking about something being built at the end of your road. But it's not just the end of your road, it is 16 feet away from my bedroom window. The Fragrance Group are planning to build a hotel at the end of my garden. It's going to be 6 floors high. There's going to be windows literally facing my house, which they said there wouldn't be. And at the moment when I look out of my window, I see the sea. It's what I've seen for 20 years. But unfortunately, what I'm going to see once they build this is a brick wall. It's devastating. It's like you feel trapped, you feel like nobody's listening to you, like you can scream and scream and scream until your lungs give out, but nobody cares. They just see money, they just see development, they don't think about how it will affect me and my family. Nobody wants to talk to us, nobody wants to listen to our voices, and so all we can do is what we have in the power. The power that we have is to try and talk to you and kind of show you and tell you how we're feeling about it all and what we're going through. It's horrible being made to feel so small and insignificant that even council members tell you that they're not interested in hearing your side of the story. You know, when you see bits of paper in front of you that say that, you know, you're going to lose all this light that's coming into your home, that, you know, feeds your plants, that, you know, gives you energy, that makes you feel alive, and nobody cares. And in fact, they care so little that apparently my lounge is my bedroom, according to their documentation. So we've set up this YouTube channel in the hope that you guys, the people that receive the leaflets, the people that receive the flyers, will look at what they're planning and see it for what it is and see it in a different light. And yes, it's a great thing for Paignton to have money put into it. I can't deny that. I just want them to make it a little bit smaller on that side, on the side of the lighthouse, so that we can still benefit from the covenant that's still active on the land that they're trying to build on. That it's like there's a bit of decking in front of our house, which means that we still get sea views, and we just want them to be respectful of that to some extent and help us like maintain that history, that the fact that that's always been there, you know, so our neighbours don't feel so overlooked, we don't feel so overlooked, we don't feel so boxed in. I don't know if you've ever seen our house, but our house has all the windows like face the sea. They all face one way. All our other windows are quite small, but all our big windows face the sea, and waking up and, you know, seeing that is just so liberating. But at the same time, waking up and seeing a brick wall it's horrible. It's a horrible feeling. I mean, if someone came along and put a brick wall up in front of your window, the window that you're looking out of right now, you know, how would you feel? How would it make you feel? And it just makes me laugh that nobody cares. Nobody cares enough to say sorry. Nobody cares enough to want to even talk to us. You know, we tried to tell them about the covenant and they just said, we don't even recognise it as a covenant. We try to talk to other people about it because we wanted to understand what their experiences were that they were going through, and they were just like, you know, I just it's really hard. So I hope that this YouTube channel finds other people that are interested in what's happening. I hope that the people that have hotels and businesses along Garfield Road want to support the campaign to prevent the building from being what it's going to be. I don't get why the two like numbers for the building, the planning permission, are the same. So the Park Hotel number is the same as the Lighthouse number, which to me makes it think it's like the same build. But I didn't think that you could do that. I'm not really like sure about that, but like the Corbin Head Hotel had less rooms than what's being proposed for these two sites. So if they're combining the two sites and saying it's one build, I don't understand. And I do understand in some ways. Yeah, so if the two buildings are like the same, like you would think so many more people would be like up in arms. Like they said that the Corbin was too big, and yet nobody seems to care that the build that they're planning in Paignton, just because it's divided by a road, is bigger. And I guess that's because there are less people residentially around it. There's just my family. So there are so many people out there that really care. But our voice is just one voice, and we just feel so trampled right now. And like my parents, they're in their 90s. They're not 90. My parents are, you know, sort of older, and it's just been completely consuming because, you know, we engaged with the fragrance group and they said, oh, you know, write us a letter about all your concerns and we will address them, and if you've got any legal stuff, like send that to our legal team and they'll deal with that and we'll deal with this. But soon as we engaged a legal team, they shut us out completely, like refused to talk to us at all. Because they were like, oh, well, you know, you might do this or you might do that. It's like, well, you know, we're only that is our legal team is just going off the facts of what is in front of them. So, you know, the same way that I would assume that when I had a conversation with them and they were like, we're going to look after you, you're going to be our neighbours, we're going to help you, we're going to make sure your property is okay when we're building so close to it, that they would be going off the facts and being truthful the same way we've been truthful with them. But they just don't care. They don't care about us. We are just one family. And it's really interesting because there's just so many facets to it that I really wanted to capture this experience and capture how I was feeling and how it made my family feel. Knowing that, and I'm going to film like a little bit of footage from our window tomorrow when we go down there, that in a few years' time, probably no matter, you know, what we do, how many people we talk to, or how we try and tell our side of the story, that one day I'll be in my house and all of a sudden all the light that I have coming in from the sea, the sounds of the seagulls in the morning, watching them swoop across the water, I won't see that. I'll see faces in a glass corridor staring back at me as I get dressed in my bedroom. I will see brick wall and bins. It's just, I mean, nobody likes change, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying, you know, I don't want things to change. I think it would be great if they did something with that site, but I just want them to be respectful of the history that's there, that land next to their building, which is part of their site, hasn't been built on because there's a covenant on it. And, you know, it is unfortunate that Torbay Council didn't tell them the proper details because they didn't look into it. You know, if anyone wants to talk to us about the covenant, you know, they're more than welcome to, but, you know, nobody wants to talk to us because it causes them a headache, so they just ignore us. And because we're just little and we don't matter, and, you know, my parents are elderly, and, you know, we're just one family, they can do what they want. They're the biggest multi-million-pound company in Singapore, so what does it matter that they, you know, do this to one person, because it's just one person and nobody's listening to them. So all I can say is that I would really love it if we could get some support, if we could get some people to say that we matter, to say that they care about the fact that we are going to be surrounded by brick walls, that, you know, the people that live on Garfield Road who run their own bed and breakfasts, you know, are going to have their views destroyed by these giant hotels. But at the same time, like, what about all the people then when they come to Paignton? You know, do they want to stay in like a, you know, really cutesy little community, or are they coming to stay in a giant Benidorm style hotel? I mean, you know, for me, I love authenticity. I love that authentic feeling when you visit somewhere and feeling like you are immersed in its culture. And I just feel that this isn't that. This is not respecting the culture of, you know, the normal little seaside holiday community that is in Paignton. Every single one of those houses along Garfield Road, and barring about 2, are all bed and breakfast, and they've been there for 20 years. They may have changed hands with different people, but they're all this part of that community, and it's part of the heritage of this, you know, the bay. And that you have these, you know, beautiful grand hotels like the Palace, like the Park, you know, that have that beautiful, you know, authentic feel to them. I just want people to say, do you know what, they've heard our voice, they've listened to what we had to say, and, you know, they've given us the chance to say what we needed to say about what's going on. And tomorrow we're going to be going around people, like door to door, like all the like bed and breakfast and stuff, asking people if they're planning to put an objection into the build, supporting them with anything that they need. So like if they need help in putting in their objections, or if they don't know, they want to object but they don't know what they can object on, just talking to them about that kind of thing. Because if you don't do anything, then people will just come along in life and take everything you have. So you have to try and do everything you can, so you don't look back and go, I wish I did this, or I wish I did that. You know, you have to kind of go with your gut instinct and just say, we've tried, we've done our best, and hopefully somebody heard us, and hopefully, you know, someone thought, you know what, this is really bad, what's happening to them, and that nobody cares. So yeah, I guess that's all I've got to say for now, really. I have got some other like content that I'm going to be uploading, but I would really appreciate it if you could just, you know, if you're thinking about objecting to the build, or you think, you know, you want to find out a bit more, you know, click on some of the other videos I'm going to be uploading. Give us a call. We've popped our telephone numbers on the leaflets we've put through your door, so that you can call us and speak to us about what's happening to us right now. Yeah, we would really love your support.